Nvidia announces a $50 billion stock buyback program. They beat on the top and the bottom line. They overshoot guidance, and yet after hours, Nvidia is actually down, currently about 1.41%. And as we head into the earnings call, which should be coming up in about 20 minutes, I wanted to comment on my thoughts of Nvidia's earnings, look at the chart, and kind of give an understanding as to why the stock is not up like many people are expecting. Now, normally when we have earnings, the main thing that we're looking for is guidance, especially when it comes to a big tech company. Normally, we're expecting, especially a company like Nvidia, to beat analyst expectations, to beat on the top and the bottom line is really not that big of a deal. Now, in yesterday's video, we did talk about a potential re-buyback program, which is very, very solid. A lot of people were commenting in that video about why they would do that if Jensen himself was selling positions in Nvidia. Why wouldn't he have just held them if he thought that the stock was undervalued? Well, there's a couple of things. Number one, Jensen and Nvidia are two different things and two different people. The first thing you have to understand is that enterprise value is how a lot of these guys get their big net worth. $1 trillion net worth, people like Elon Musk, he doesn't have that money sitting around. He has to go and take debt against that enterprise value that he owns within the company. So potentially maybe Jensen wanted to get some capital back, close out that position on his own. The other thing too is that now that this is happening from Nvidia, the company, it's coming out of Nvidia's balance sheet. And since they have profits sitting there, if they think that the stock is undervalued, then they'll come in, they'll buy some up. The one thing I want you to understand, though, about the $50 billion share buyback program, it's only $50 billion, right? That seems like a lot, but volume today on Nvidia alone was $25 billion. So that's basically the past 2 trading days is how much they're buying as far as volume, which is not going to soak up a lot of liquidity. The main reason that we're not seeing Nvidia breaking out at this moment up to that 140 and 150 level is mainly because even though they beat, it wasn't by as big of a margin as last time, and that is showing descending growth. And now you might be thinking to yourself, like, hold on, I don't get it. If I'm investing in this company, they beat on top and bottom, they're doing share buyback programs, they believe the stock's undervalued at least a bit if they're going to allocate capital there. Their guidance is phenomenal. We're yet to see how the call is going to be. I don't get it. Well, that's because we're trading at massive valuations here. You're talking about a $3.16 trillion company. So in order for this party to continue, we need to see not just good, but we need to see great. And I do think this was a great earnings call. I really do. Or not earnings call, we haven't heard it yet, but I do think this was a great earnings number and outlook. And overall, as an investor, which I'm not, if I was, I wouldn't be mad about this. I really wouldn't. Now let's talk about, as far as price action, what are some levels that we could be watching on Nvidia? Well, we know that when price is trading over the market bias, which we can see was trading back here, we are bullish. When price is trading under the market bias, which was happening basically from July to August, we are bearish. Now that we're back over the market bias, what I'm expecting, especially with this type of earnings, is most likely, worst case, a pullback to 120, 117, or 115. From there, I do think we'll most likely bounce and continue this run, especially with the Fed cutting rates and heading into an election cycle. Now, we only have to worry if price really breaks that 120 level. The other thing we have to worry about is this weekly BX trender. If we sell off under 120, we might see lower lows on the BX trender, which means that big money is no longer buying into this, or at least no longer buying into it enough to continue to push prices higher. You have to remember, the most important thing as a trader is not even our own thesis or our own strategy. It is the fact that we need other buyers to agree with us at the same exact time so that they can push the market up. So if they're not agreeing with us and they don't see eye to eye, then there's no point in taking the trade. So if Nvidia closes with lower lows on the BX trender for the weekly, I will not be looking to play this at all to the upside until we retest $100. Now, tomorrow, if we were to open somewhere between 120 and 118, there's a chance I might take a position short term to see if we can get the bounce back over 124. But the real level that we're watching, the real candle that we're watching going into the rest of this week will be this weekly candle as of Friday. And if that candle closes with lower lows, this rally is going to be over for the short term. Let me know what you guys think. If you want to trade alongside me each and every single day, go ahead and check out our Discord community. The link is in the description. You become part of our private academy. And if you want to learn our two-step trading system completely for free, take our market bias course and all of our courses. The link to our course library will be in the description. Thanks for all support. I'll see you next time.